Forsberg via WebEx by Cisco. He joins us from out in Milwaukee. And Forsberg, what a performance by this Celtics team, specifically Jayson Tatum, 46 points, coming up big in a crucial Game 6. Your biggest takeaway after this win?
Yeah, well, let's start from the big picture, right? It was the superstars of this team, or the core guys that really stepped up, whether it was Tatum or Brown or Marcus Smart. It felt like this mattered to them to atone for what happened in Game 5 and find a way to get this back to Boston. But Tatum specifically, in a season full of leaps, this feels like something even more significant. Being on the road in a must-have game, in a game that Giannis is putting up numbers that we haven't seen in 20 years, and Jayson Tatum is able to duel with him, I just think it's just another step, another elevation in that progress to superstar talent. And I mean, again, there's been 4 different times this season I've said, man, Jayson Tatum has gone up a level. His playmaking, he's gone up a level in two-way impact. I mean, he's just, every time you think he can't go further, he does something like this and gives the Celtics a chance to get to a Game 7.
Chris, we've had so many ups and downs in this series. Is this the best Celtic game we've had from start to finish?
There were still a couple lulls, right? They were trying to attack Giannis and got away from what they had done so well. But the one thing I can't shake in this series is that the Bucks just can't score in the half court. When the Celtics are able to value the ball, like I think they had 4 turnovers in the first few minutes there, and the Bucks were able to kind of jump. But like once the Celtics eliminated those turnovers, then it was just like a sort of a really smooth ride until they got away from their offense a little bit. But I just go back to it. I feel like the Celtics have the more complete team in this series, and I think they were mad that they had let go of control of this over those 2 games, and especially at home. And so good to see them sort of stick to what works, find a way to dig in defensively, weather the storms that you know happen, especially on the road, and find a way to get to the finish line. But I still think there's a better game they can have. I don't know if it'll happen in Game 7. Like, Game 7s are wild, but certainly the way they played tonight showed me a lot for a team with its back against the wall.
Ime Udoka said that this team has grown tremendously, and we've seen them face adversity all season long. But Forsberg, how has the adversity that they faced early on in the season really prepared them for this heavyweight series against the Bucks?
Yeah, like I just think once you're 18 and 21, and we're all sitting here, some of us guilty, maybe looking to the lottery, Scal will bust my chops about that as every chance he can get. But, like, I never thought this team had it in them to sort of rally out of that moment, to be the best team in basketball over the second half of the year, to take on the challenge of going against Brooklyn, to come up here against a heavyweight title team and the defending champs and find a way to sort of grind through this. I mean, this series feels like something we'll look back on, depending on like what happens from here and what happens in the trajectory of the Celtics. It sort of feels like this is a pivotal chapter in whatever comes next, and their ability to withstand in this series and overcome their own mistakes and be sitting at a point where you can potentially get to the Eastern Conference Finals and feel pretty good about your chances in that based on what you'd weathered through the first 2 rounds says a lot about this team. And I'm eager to see how they respond. They've met every single challenge along the way in calendar year 2022, and it hasn't always been perfect, but they've found ways to put themselves in good spots. Can they do it again in Game 7? That building is going to be electric. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, cannot wait for Game 7. Thanks so much, Chris Forsberg. All right, Scal, here with you. We got to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, the first 40-20 playoff game since 01. Shaq did it back in 2001. And, Eddie, just how was Giannis able to just assert his greatness in tonight's game?
Well, he's a bully. At the end of the day, he gets where he wants to get, right? And he's going to go downhill. It's very similar to LeBron James. When LeBron James, not saying that these 2 players are a similar type of players, but how they get their money, right? Is downhill, downhill, downhill. And if you didn't foul him before he got to that gather step, it was all bad. You was getting dunked on. It was going to be an and one. And that's what you see. Once he gets downhill, it's over with. But he'll start knocking down shots here and there, and I think you could live with that. But you don't want him to continuously get into the paint, get comfortable, get to his spot, and have opportunities to get his own rebound because he's so long and he has so much strength. So building that wall is imperative, but, I mean, you can't say enough about what this guy has been able to do. I mean, 44 points, 20 rebounds. I mean, that is a phenomenal stat line. I mean, only something I could dream about, rebound-wise.
I like that. like how he do that in there. We dodged a big-time bullet because you would think with Giannis playing this way, like it would be hard for us to win this game. But the fact that he had composure, he made free throws, he made threes. Like, I don't think he was out of control running people over. I didn't think he lost his composure throughout this entire game. And for us to still win by 13, like this is a huge win for the Celtics because when Giannis plays like this, I feel like you can almost just chalk it up into the win column. But the rest of those guys might not be good enough. And you watch this team when they try to execute in the half court. Giannis is special. He's special in transition, hitting the offensive glass when he gets the ball and he gets the mismatches. But I think that the Celtics really did, dodge a bullet because this is as good as I've seen Giannis play since he probably dropped that 50-piece on the Phoenix Suns last year.
And let's switch gears and talk about Derek White. 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you talked about it at halftime, Eddie. You said that, okay, the points are great, but defensively he was doing some great things as well. What did you see out of Derek White in this game?
Just being aggressive, being physical. Then on top of that, getting in there and doing some of the dirty work, getting rebounds, 5 rebounds, that is big time. Everybody, you understand that every rebound is so crucial because that's a possession. What's the most important thing in the game of basketball? Is the basketball and possession of the basketball. Why? Because when you have the possession of the basketball, you can score. If you don't have it, then the other team can score. And how do you lose? Because the other team has more points than you, because you aren't able to put the ball in the hole. So for him to be able to go out there and after having bad games, but stay with it, stick with it, and put his nose right there. I mean, taking a charge from Giannis, seeing him come full speed, I'm telling you, that takes some guts. I'm sorry. I mean, it's hard for I don't know if I would want to stand and watch him. I mean, because he's 7 feet tall, and I don't know how much he weighs, but whatever's about to hit you, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
Derek White, +9, didn't shoot the ball well, but here's the thing. Eddie sends out the tweet, rebounding and turnovers. So you got to take care of the basketball, had 0 turnovers, and he rebounded the ball, and he played good defense. You can't ask, obviously you want guys to shoot over 40% from 3 or shoot over 50% from the field, but Derek White did his job today. He made an impact, and he impacted winning.
All right, well, let's take a break here on Celtics Post-Game Live and take a look at that final score one more time out there in Milwaukee.
Quarter when the Bucks was making the run at you guys.
Yeah, obviously hit some big ones, but throughout the game, he did that and, made the right play as well. So drew a crowd, got off the ball, didn't play in the crowd a ton, limited our turnovers only to 8, and then got favorable matchups and knocked them down, whether going to the basket or, rising up for a shot. So huge night by him, other guys as well, but definitely needed.
Did you say anything? It was a little familiar as it's unfolding from last game. How did you feel like, in addition to Jayson, guys kind of settled down and settled in?
Yeah, just not get stagnant. They start switching a little bit, and we knew what hurt us last game, so we wanted to get a little more movement, off-ball action. They're going to switch certain things on ball, but we can do some different things off ball, and I think it freed us up a little bit to attack there. And at the end of the day, you got to make some shots, and against favorable matchups, not settle and get other guys involved, and we did a better job of that tonight.
What does it say for your team in general to respond the way y'all did 2 nights after such a crushing loss, to come back on the road the way you were able to?
Yeah, we had the right resolve. We talked about it after that game, let an opportunity slip away, but, still have a chance to make it a better story, I guess. And so, we felt good going into it because we played so well for 3.5 quarters. Everybody's, like I said, pissed before the game. I said everybody's pissed about the outcome, but we knew how well we played throughout the series and let some things slip away, but never any doubt or, hangover from that game. We put it to bed the next day and look forward to getting it back to the Garden.
Feels like you found something with that Starries and Derek lineups. Derek especially as a connector in this game. What are you seeing from him and that unit together when you put him in there in the 4?
Yeah, they've been good all year, honestly, with Derek in the game. Got 4 guys that can create, space it out different, and their threats out there, and they defend it a little bit differently. They got another guy to worry about other than spot-up shooting. And just another guy that can initiate. They put their best defenders on certain guys and frees up others to get loose, and Derek is one of them that can, get downhill, make the right play, and initiate our offense with a little less pressure. So love what he's doing out there with that group.
What's the key to cutting down that run? A couple of timeouts in there in the fourth quarter. What sort of things you're talking about? What are you implementing in those as the lead ball?
Yeah, we want to get solid shots, obviously, and not get stagnant. That was the main thing, not just get ISO heavy against their switching late. Understand what hurt us last game and how we can take advantage of those, not just for yourself, but get guys involved. And I think we made more of the right plays, put us in some sets as well to get off the ball and where they're not switching as much. And then got to defend, get stops. He said, we had 10, 13-point lead. Shots are going to make or miss. You're going to take the right ones, but we could still defend at a high level and, keep them in the 90s, which was our goal. And so the defense was better down the stretch, but also a little bit more movement off ball and not getting bogged down as much ISO heavy.
When they hit that 3 to cut it to 6, what did you see in your team that was different from the other night?
Yeah, that we made some mistakes there. The main thing we talked about was, okay, they're going to make some shots, but let's limit them to one shot. That was the main thing that hurt us last game, and then transition, make them score in half court. So that was our main thing. They hit the 3, but we, got a timeout, got a nice shot off for Jalen, extend the lead back up, and then loved our playmaking off the ball. I think we made much more plays tonight instead of watching Giannis go down the lane one-on-one. Guys were making plays and then finishing with the rebound, getting out running. So what we've done a lot of all series, but at that time in the game, we knew we had the lead and obviously had given one away and didn't want to replicate that.
You've been through a lot of playoff series as a player, as a coach. How much does it take to win a game like this on the road?
Yeah, I think it's shows it's a testament to what we've kind of been the second half of the season. I don't know if it affects us playing on the road as much as some other teams because we've been pretty good there, and I think our guys embrace that. But tough atmosphere. We both won 2 in each other's building now, so I don't know how much of a advantage the home court is to very evenly balanced teams record-wise and different personnel-wise, but play each other tough, and so have to go do it at the Garden, not relying on home court advantage, being that they already beat us there twice.
How much in the last 2 games have kind of changed, I think, how they've defended Al a little bit, and Jason's been able to take advantage of that. Just how big has his shot-taking ability been to put pressure on their defense? Yeah,
they can kind of Al hurt him early in the series, and they try to take that away, but it opens up other things for other guys. And so we know we can take advantage of those, but as I've said all year with those guys, it's the ISO or the switch or the mismatch is not just for them. And they're doing a good job balancing, taking the shots, and also penetrating and drawing the crowd and getting other guys looks. So that's all you can ask from those guys, our leading scorers. We depend on them to do that. But if they want to take Al out, it opens other things up for us, and I think we've taken advantage of that the last few games.
After Game 5, where Tatum would just get the first switch he could and then go for that, how important was it tonight to keep finding more switches so you got exactly what you wanted?
Yeah, we were very deliberate about that, being connected and communicating on the fly. For certain guys we want to pick on, and at times Giannis got fouls. We got a little heavy going after him and kind of got bogged down, and we went away from that pretty quickly and wanted to still pick on their lesser defenders, and it takes the team out there. One guy may think he has an advantage, but you got a better or weaker defender on you, and it's on everybody to recognize that, not just us on the sideline. And so I think we did a good job of that, and like I said, not just trying to score on that cross match. It was more so getting everybody involved as well.
How do you feel like this year, like the challenges, the kind of ascension, the comebacks you guys had almost prepared you for these moments? Kind of the things you've been through as opposed to things that have been easier the whole way?
Yeah, I think it's benefited us. We grew a tremendous amount early in the season due to some of our struggles. Went on a stretch of winning a bunch of games by 20+, but had some tests late in the year that were good for us, and understood that, playoffs is coming, and those are going to be important for us to go through some tight games that we won late in the year. And so we kind of run the gamut on every situation, winning and losing, and I think that's benefited us as coaches to understand our team and what we want to look for, but also put our guys in high pressure situations.
You guys got more offensive rebounds than them, especially after last game. What did you just think of the effort there and diving on these ball 50-50 balls and all that?
Yeah, it's an emphasis. I mean, they had been out shooting us by about 10. It's 87 tonight, and our thing is keeping them off the glass. That's a huge point of it, obviously, how it hurt us last game. But to only give up 11 second chance points and 6 in the second half and only give up 7 offensive rebounds, obviously night and day from last game when they got 17 for 20 points and outshot us by 10. So that's a big part, and finished with the board.